Hey everyone! Just got back from an amazing trip over to Bali, Indonesia. I spent an entire week over in Bali, Indonesia. I wanted to do a quick video for everyone that has been asking about the trip as far as activities that we've done, food places that we went to, the culture in Bali, weather, I mean, anything and everything that you guys can think of, especially if you are looking into doing a vacation yourself into Bali, and what our experiences were, what we recommend, what we don't recommend, and just everything that we did, and all of the above. So we're gonna go kind of day by day what we did, and yeah, just so give you guys a little bit better of an idea of how our trip was and how amazing it was, and what you guys can expect whenever you do your trip to Bali.
So yeah, we did 7 days in Bali. We committed another 2 days of traveling. So day one, we'll say day one is traveling, and that was from here in Santan Valley to the airport, right? And then getting to the airport in Sky Harbor, we took a Southwest flight, 1 hour flight to LAX. From LAX, it was about a 4 hour layover until
It was about a 4 hour layover for us.
until we had our flight from LAX straight to Singapore on Singapore Airlines. That was 16 hours long.
It was Danny's first first experience with a really long flight like that, 16 hours. As many of you guys have known from my page, I have done many trips over to Europe, like international trips. So, and especially like Switzerland recently, that was about a 10-hour flight from like Chicago. So I'm used to kind of long trips, but this was definitely kind of a little different experience for Danny. But also, fun fact, it's like the second longest flight you can take, I think.
Somewhere out there, 16 hours is long.
Something like that, yeah. But so, yeah, 16 hours. So that's something for you guys to really think about too, is make sure you guys set enough time to accommodate the traveling, because it is going to be 16 hours flight to get there, at least for us from LAX to Indonesia. So of course, if you're on the East Coast, it would probably be a little bit shorter period, but
I mean, we had snacks that we picked up on.
Yes.
We had movies downloaded on a tablet. You recommend compression socks. Is there a reason why you'd recommend it?
Compression socks, just because, guys, it's a 16-hour flight. For some people, you're not up moving around like you do in your normal day-to-day life. When you're going to work and everything at home. And really, compression socks is to help with that blood flow. So it is going to allow, it's going to prevent clots, basically, blood clots in your legs. So it's important for a long flight like that, if you're going to be sedentary and you're going to be sitting for a long period of time, to have something like compression socks, which for us nurses, we wear them all the time in the hospital because we're on our feet all the time. But it's just as important if you're sitting for a long period of time. Also, if you find you're in a really cramped spot, you can always just kind of roll your ankles a little bit, move your legs up and down. And of course, throughout the flight, they allow you to get up, stand up, walk around on the flight, kind of stretch out. I mean, Danny even was doing some like squats on the flight too. So I highly recommend, if you guys are going to do a long trip like that, to wear compression socks when you're on the flight. So,
and on that flight, I mean, it's about $1,000 each person round trip. In addition, we paid an extra, $200 for the round trip for extra leg room at the
like 120
at the exit rows. That's totally worth it for that 16-hour flight. I highly recommend it. Plus, the flight came with 2 meals on that super long 16-hour flight.
Overall, I mean, it's a long traveling day, so you just have to know you're going to be exhausted at that end of the day when you finally get to the destination at the end. But those are just things to kind of prepare yourself, at least for in-flight.
And I don't think any of us had sleep on that flight, right? We maybe had some catch and goes, but nothing significant.
No. So yeah, that's the other thing, is we had like neck pillows. So we had those just to kind of doze off in and out. But like Danny said, we're not ones that sleep. Obviously, there was many people that could sleep, and great for them, but we aren't ones that can really sleep. So, but yeah, some neck pillows too.
And I guess when we arrived in Singapore, the airport's very beautiful, by the way. You've never been to Singapore, right?
No, I've never been to Singapore.
I've been to Singapore. It's a beautiful city, very clean, very high tech, first world, very rich. But of course, we didn't have any chance to explore the city, so it was just the airport. But the airport's very nice.
It was also a rainy day, so we really couldn't see a whole lot because of the cloud coverage and stuff. But yeah, it was really
That
nice.
was unfortunate. I wanted you to see the city from the window of the aircraft, but unfortunately that did not happen.
Maybe next time.
But then we got on our flight. The layover was about 2 hours.
It was
Really?
like 2
Not
hours
that bad.
layover.
And then from Singapore to Bali, about a 2 hour flight. I mean, after a 16-hour flight, 2 hours is not a big deal at all.
Nope.
And they gave us a meal, so that was nice.
Yeah, so there was one meal included from Singapore to Bali. So that was like I don't even remember if it was a lunch or dinner or something like that.
And then we arrived to Bali, and then you get out of the aircraft, and boom, you feel the environment. What was your first thoughts?
It's very humid, just so you guys know. For us, or at least for myself, I lived in Arizona my entire life. So for any of you guys in Arizona, it's just dry heat here. We don't have humidity like in Florida or Mexico or anything like that. So Bali is very, very humid. It was like 70% humidity, but it also was like in the 80s. So it was hot. So just FYI, if you guys aren't used to humidity, it's very humid there. Danny's been in Hawaii for 8 years, so he's used to having some of that humidity, so it probably didn't hit him nearly as much as it did me.
It was like the bad times of Hawaii where, the September and August time frame where it's just low trade winds, a lot of humidity. That's what it felt like. But for me, who lived in Hawaii for 8 years, I was used to it right away. Almost missed it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then, so that was our first thoughts. And then when you arrive in the airport, you first get to immigration. You buy your visa, and visa there is about $30 a person for a month stay. So obviously, we did not stay there for more than a month. But if you plan to, that's what you can expect. Also, there is a place where you have to claim your items. I mean, you just get your phone, you hit the QR code, and then you just claim your items. Most of it's probably gonna be no anyway, and they just look at that you completed the QR code and they just let you through. Well, I digress. Before that, they stamp your passport as well. Once you get out of immigration and getting out of the airport, there is just you're walking through all the quick currency exchanges and whatnot. We saw a YouTube video that says they recommend not doing it right away. There were so many currency exchanges. I think it would be worth bringing your cash, your US dollars, and go to those currency exchanges because one, they're legitimate, and two, they're better exchange rates. Because I exchanged mine at the LA airport thinking it's American, it's trustworthy, nothing to be scared about. No, I got ripped off. Each dollar is about 15,300 rupiah at the time of this recording. I didn't even think of it. They charged me about exchange rate of like 11.8 thousand rupiah per dollar. So I got ripped off at LAX. So do not use them. Just go ahead, go to Bali, exchange your cash there for the rupiah. Their exchange rate was about 15.2 thousand rupiah per dollar. So it was way better. So that's a lesson learned for me. Do not use American exchange.
Yeah, and just to kind of caveat that too, as far as exchange places in Bali, you do want to be careful that because there are going to be possible places that are a little sketchy, little off. So just be careful where you go, that it's like a legitimate money exchange place. Usually you'll have like security cameras. They'll have signs in the exchange the currency exchange place that talk about I forget the wording of it, but they're going to have signs up about the
commissions and
yeah, exactly. And so those are going to be ones you're going to look for because there are ones that are a little out there that you can get ripped off too. Right. So just something else to kind of think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to tell between the difference between a legitimate place and a place that looks sketchy. It's like night and day. It's like a sketchy one looks like a shack. While
it's like a make shop, like a what do you call like a just thrown up in like 2 seconds kind of place. Like is what
like
the feel is going to be. Yeah, exactly.
A legitimate one looks like a bank. So that's good. One thing we saw when we're researching this, there could be people who still work at those exchange places. They might do like a slip of the hand and rip you off when they're exchanging your currency. So please talk to them how much currency you would get in exchange for, like, say you bring in $100, how much would you get back? They'll tell you. And then make sure you count it and that they count in front of you, not like do a quick slip of the hand and give you a lesser amount than what you should have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
But the chances of you getting ripped off though is very slim. There's not a lot of bad things I'd say about Bali. Can it happen? Yes, but anywhere else that can happen too.
Especially if you're in a pretty well-known touristy place in Bali, so like Ubud or like Seminyak or Canggu or anything like that. So if you're in pretty much where a lot of the tourists go, you should be perfectly fine to going to any kind of currency place because that's a very common thing there. So
So moving forward, we got out of the airport and we had our transport, right?
yeah. So with our Airbnb that we had booked going to Bali, it included an airport pickup for us. So our person, we just kind of wrote them back and forth with WhatsApp. So many of you guys I know are very, very familiar with WhatsApp. That is like their communication go-to in Bali. So that was the way of communication. And so he was there and we gave him our information when I booked everything through the Airbnb and picked us up and we went back and so that was like flawless, but again that was included with our Airbnb. So if it's not, you want to make sure that you're downloading like a GoJet app, which is kind of like Uber or Lyft here in the States. They're GoJet, and you can have someone pick up in a car or their bike. They have motorbikes there. We'll go into more of that later, but basically that's one thing you want to make sure you have or set up some sort of transport when you do get there. And again, they'll have like taxis and stuff there too. But just if you're like me and I like to plan and I like to make sure things are set, we had that already ready to go when we got there.
For transportation services, Gojek is your go-to. Don't just take a guy who's a taxi on the side. They'll charge you so much more.
They'll rip you off.
They'll definitely rip you off. But Gojek, it's the legit pricing. Everyone uses them. That's where you need to go. It's very cheap, very affordable. But I mean, by getting ripped off, I mean, we're saying you're paying more, but even if you're quote unquote ripped off using a taxi guy, it's still cheaper than any taxi here in the US.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you're really stretching out your monies there, then use Gojek. Let's see. So we arrived at the villa, and what was your first thoughts when we first arrived at the villa?
It was gorgeous. The villa was really, really nice. We had our own private villa, and there was like a lot of villas nearby, but it had a really, really pretty walking path to where we had our villa. And walking in, it was just gorgeous. We had our own private pool. We had an outdoor like kitchen, living space, table with no walls. Like it's just out in the open, like right open to like the pool area. You just kind of step up and down. Really nice. Bedroom was nice. That was secluded with the door in the bathroom. It was really gorgeous. I loved it. And the people that worked there were very, very kind and courteous too. So it was great.
Big, spacious, air conditioning in a room. I asked the people at the front desk, just because certain third world countries that they don't have the best plumbing when using their toilets, I asked them if it's okay to throw in your toilet paper in the toilet. They told me yes. Whether it's true or not, whether it's okay or not, I don't know, but they told me yes. Some places will tell you, no, use the trash, throw your used toilet paper in the trash can, they'll pick it up the next day. But for us, they told us it was okay to use it in the toilet, throw it in the toilet. So that was nice.
Depending on where you're going, especially if you're going to public places in Bali, some places may not have like a plumbing system. So that's why we had asked just to make sure. So in some places, you have to actually bring toilet paper with you just in case, because you never know if they're going to have toilet paper in the plumbing. So
with the video of the villas you just saw, that cost, how much was that total per night on Airbnb?
It was like $80 a night.
About $80 a night. That included the fees and everything for a week, 7 nights, right?
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Great pricing, pool, everything. Like I couldn't believe what we got for our dollar there.
It was so nice. Yeah.
And there's so many of them out there in Bali that you can get. I mean, you can go crazy and get, $300 a night. You'll be living like a king. But the bill was just enough for us. I was happy with it. It was just so much more of what you get compared to here in the U.S. It's just a small hotel, right?
Yeah, very spacious, very nice. I really, really enjoyed it.
So the remainder of that day, we just basically relaxed, hung out at the pool.
Because again, we had just traveled so far. So we really wanted to just kind of relax and chill and get some sleep and then get ready for our first big day in Bali.
Okay, let's talk about day 2.
Day two, so with our Airbnb, again, we had the initial transport from the airport was included. Also included was breakfast every single morning at the villa.
Hmm.
So the day before, we always picked kind of what we wanted. They had like a select items of breakfast that you could choose from. So we always just kind of picked whatever we wanted. There was typical like Indonesian type very popular foods from Indonesia that you could pick. There was obviously anyone, Asian, Western. They had kind of a variety of different types to kind of cater to anyone that was traveling there from all the different countries. So they had your pancakes, their eggs, and your just regular toast, or
Hmm.
but Indonesia food, fried rice,
Fried
fresh
noodles.
fruit every morning, which is really yummy.
Hmm.
Orange juice, coffee, tea. I mean, you name it. They would kind of cater to anything. If there wasn't any certain thing on there, you could always ask about it, and they would be very helpful in doing that for you.
Hmm. So after breakfast, uh, our plan was to go to Ubud
Hmm.
because we had scheduled a couples massage there, really nice, fancy one over there.
Hmm.
And we got our Gojek, our driver, and the drive from where we were staying at, it was like around Seminyak, the long area. From there, driving up to Ubud took about an hour.
Yeah, it was about an hour's drive.
And we just mapped it on Google. It's like 19 miles. But the roads, the traffic there is so crazy. Like, it's so crowded there, and there's so much traffic. And, like, it's like two-way driving on a one
Like
lane.
one
Like,
road, like
what we're used to in the United States of, like, a road that's fit for one car. They somehow make it happen with two cars, and they're so close to each other when they're coming by. So it's just like
yeah, it was a lot of like
held my
moto
breath a lot.
bikes. Yeah, like a lot of motorbikes. So tons of those on the road.
Hmm.
And just with the cars, and like Danny said, like the roads are not wide. Like it's not like here in the US and you're able, I mean, there were some roads and some aspects that had like two ways, but most of the streets there were just super narrow. So it was literally like traffic and people were weaving in and out. Like they don't have a lot of traffic lights either. So it comes to an intersection and it's like a free for all for everyone at the intersection. Like it's just you go, and it's kind of crazy. So anyway,
Hmm.
like Danny was saying, we had 19 miles to go, but it took us an hour to go 19 miles. And it's just because traffic really over the last few years has gotten a lot longer, a lot busier.
Hmm.
There's a lot more people there visiting out, especially post COVID. There's a lot of people back traveling and doing vacation. Plus, there's a lot more people that are moving to Bali and living in Bali now than it has been in the past. So it's
Hmm.
just a little crazy traffic wise, but
It's like I would say like it's like driving in your neighborhood, but it's crowded all the time. Because it's just because I mean when you're driving, it's just like house, small business, nonstop. There's no like
so many,
freeways. It's not
yeah.
like like here in the U.S. we have a busy street meant for just driving, maybe with occasional red lights and whatnot. They are just like it's just nonstop driving. They're just nonstop merging, but they do a good job. Well, they're not driving fast. Like the fastest was like 20 miles per hour. If anything, it's like slower, like 10, 15, but that's why it's easier to merge. Not too many lights.
No, not very too many. I mean, no, no.
But it's just crazy how people just go on the other side of the road and like, oh my God, we're about to have a head-on collision. They get into the other lane quickly. It's just
You had
normal
to
for
like
them.
kind of not watch a couple of times because I don't know about anyone else, but I was having anxiety just watching like the craziness of the traffic and everyone weaving in and out. But so just know that traffic in Bali is very crazy busy, and to allow yourself ample time. So even if it says like maybe 30 minutes to get to a destination, allow maybe a little. Just realize it might be a little bit longer, especially if you're taking a car. If you're taking a moto bike, typically it's not as long because they can really weave in and out of traffic a lot better. But just allow yourself just to know it might take a little bit longer if you're in an actual vehicle. But
So, so besides the traffic, once we finally got to Ubud, to our massage destination, what tell us about that place?
this place, this place was so amazing, and we'll put all the links and everything to the place that you guys can check it out. But it's a resort. It's a really nice resort area in Ubud, but they offer some amazing Balinese massages, which is definitely one of the main things I recommend all of you guys that are watching is to get yourself a really good Balinese massage. But this resort had an amazing spa, and we had a couples massage. And so, I mean, the moment we walked into the place, I mean, we had a nice, again, walkway all the way to the spa. When we got to the spa, it just smelled so good. Everyone was super nice and welcoming, and we got to pick all of our scents. So there was a whole stream of oils that we could choose from what we wanted. And then we had a really nice, refreshing, like a green juice that was, you knew it was obviously very fresh, had like lime and cucumber and something else. It was super refreshing and a cool cloth. And then we got to our room where we were going to have our massage. How do you want to explain the room of where we got our massage?
Oh man, it's nothing like I've ever experienced. Like you go in, it's just opens up with like this, the walls a window that you see of like the vast, beautiful, lush rainforest where you're gonna have your massage. And then there's a bathtub, there's 2 massage tables, there's a shower, a place with your wardrobe. It's very spacious for a place where you're gonna get a massage. And
It was very, very spacious.
very nicely scented. Like it was just amazing. And then
Oh, they had the area where you put your feet in, and it was like the warm water and it had flowers in it. Oh my gosh, it was
oh yeah, I mean
so pretty.
yeah, so it started off with like your feet, right? They just kind of
Like a foot scrub. Like they had you, like we changed out of our clothes into the robes that they provided us, and underwear. You have to put on these little, like, I don't know if it was like probably a one size fits all kind of underwear.
yeah, they have disposable underwear for your massages, which is interesting.
So men, just so you're aware.
It looks a little weird, but they, you get out of your clothes, but you put on this disposable underwear. So it was interesting. I understand. I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was fine. I mean, we did that. We had the robes, and then we soaked our feet for a little bit. They scrubbed our feet with the salts and the water and the flowers and everything else. They cleaned our feet really, really well. And then we got to lie down and do the actual massage itself, which we had the like traditional. You can do so many different massages. What I booked was like a traditional Balinese massage that also had the full body scrub and a wrap, a green, healthy, detoxifying wrap, like, seaweed wrap. That's what it was, seaweed wrap. After that. So we had, and it was about an hour and a half of the actual massage. So what did you think of the actual massage that we had?
Very good, very high quality, very relaxing. I couldn't ask for a better massage. It was so nice.
And I hadn't done a full body scrub in, God, I don't even know the last time.
I don't think I've ever done a full body scrub. After the massage, I did the full body scrub. I was like, wow, I'm getting my whole body exfoliated, but this is nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then again, like when you had the seaweed wrap after you just had been exfoliated, it was very soothing, and it just felt so good after that. But yeah, that massage was heavenly. Like they did such an amazing job. So we did the massage, and then after that was our tub experience. So they then prepared a hot tub with bubbles that just, we'll just have to show you guys exactly how that looked. But I mean, it was bubbles galore out of this tub. And then we were able to just sit in this tub for a while. And then they had refreshing tea for us right outside, just sitting on a chair right outside of the tub. That we got to drink some tea and relax for about 30 minutes, and then we could get showers and stuff. But how was the bath then too?
Bath
to like
was
rinse
great.
off and sit, and it's like a detoxifying thing. So
It was so relaxing because you're just there looking out into like the lush rainforest. After you just had a relaxing massage, body scrub, and now you're, concluding it with a bathtub with bubbles.
it's probably weird for a guy to say that, but seriously, Danny was like, "This was amazing," and it was.
Totally
It was
not weird
so
for a
nice.
guy to say. It was awesome. I don't make fun of me all you want in the comment section. I loved it.
And it was pretty amazing. So then we got to sit in there for about 30 minutes, and then they gave us about 10 minutes after that we could go and take a shower, rinse off. They had a hair dryer for women too. So, and they had shampoos and body wash, you don't really need a body wash, but if you really wanted to use it after you just did everything, and lotions and all of that stuff. So, just to kind of get yourself ready afterwards. But then you get dressed up, and then you're sad because now you have to leave. But that whole thing was the best massage I have ever had in my entire life. And the best part about it was how much did it cost us?
Right here, say it out loud.
$131 for the both of us for a couple. That's what it cost us, US dollars. $131.
Not each. For both of us, $131.
And it was 2 hours.
2.5, right?
Oh, 2.5. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. 2.5 hours. You could never get anything like that back in the States. And honestly, it was a very good, well quality massage too. So, I mean, you would think maybe a cheap price would be like a cheap massage. No.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point because the quality of the massages are great. They're outstanding. And the environment was outstanding too. So like you said, it's like, oh, it doesn't cost that much. It must be cheap and low quality. No, this was very high quality. I was very impressed. It was way better than most massages I've ever had in the U.S. And I paid almost $2 a minute here in the U.S. for a massage.
And that's like $80, $90 for an hour, like 60 minutes
It's
back
getting
in
up there. I
here
mean,
in
the $60 an hour massages are no longer here. They're gone. I can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, no. So it was the best. It was the best experience by far.
And then after that, we just we had a late lunch basically because it was about 3 o'clock-ish.
It was late.
At a restaurant.
It's just across the street.
Just across the street. It was a really good, high quality restaurant. Good food. Good environment. What'd you think of it?
It was really, really good. And then again, like the staff, if there's one thing I can definitely emphasize on the trip was no matter what we did, where we ate, activities we did, I mean, everyone there was so nice, so welcoming. But the food was really, really good. Danny was definitely very into all the Indonesian food and trying it. And I had some, but I'm not huge in that kind of food. I had definitely more of like the American food. Sorry. But like I had like my steak, which was amazing, and really good dessert. The food, I mean, it was a really good restaurant. It was very
all the food was good except for the raw fish. Me coming from Hawaii and having poke, I was expecting. Oh, I saw raw tuna. I was gonna try it. No, it doesn't compare to Hawaii. It wasn't that good. The tuna tasted stale, so it wasn't that good. Because you need tuna to be like super fresh. Like it was just killed. They just butchered it, chopped it up in pieces, and eating it within like minutes. But there, it was like no, it wasn't that good. So I'd recommend not having raw fish in Bali. Just have whatever's cooked, and you'll be just fine. So after that, I mean, we walked around Ubud, and how would you describe Ubud? If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, which I probably am, I apologize. And everything else.
Ubud. It felt very tropical, very green. Also a very big touristy place too. So there's a lot of decent shopping going on in there. Obviously, a lot of activities, which we'll tell you more about later. But I like the atmosphere. I mean, it was really nice. And a lot of things are walking distance in Ubud too. So if you're in one area, it doesn't take long to really walk somewhere. So if you don't want to have to get a ride, like we mentioned, because it takes so long to get so many places, you can walk. But yeah, it was nice.
I liked it because it's like right in the middle of the island for the most part. Very relaxing, very low key. It's a tourist trap area. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably one of the better tourist areas you want to be at. Relaxing, all ages, including families. The only thing you're gonna miss out on is having a beach nearby. That's the only shot.
Yeah, it's a drive to get to the beach from Ubud, but it's still doable. But it's a drive. It's not like right there.
Anything else? Other than that, it's just we concluded with our drive back home which is another long drive. It was like an hour and a half back.
It was a while because it was evening. It was like prime time in the evening. So coming back, it was definitely a long drive. But it was pretty much day 2 is basically a very relaxing day. It was just we just had this long traveling day. And then we just wanted to have a relaxing day. So we had the massage and we got to chill, walk around, and then come back because we knew the next day we were going to have a full days of adventure.
Which started off again with our breakfast, our bed and breakfast that they gave us. And then we met our tour guide right outside our villa. He came to us, picked us up, and we basically went back to Ubud. And before
we keep going, I wanted to actually just... The tour that we did this day, we did multiple activities. And where I found these activities was actually on the Airbnb website. So after I had booked the villa for this vacation, it automatically came up with all these top rated activities, food places, and all of this stuff that you could do. So we pretty much kind of went through them, and we obviously did research on what are the best kind of activities to do. And then we went through that and then picked whichever activities we wanted to do. And in this particular one that I saw on Airbnb was one that had really, really high ratings. The host had really high ratings. Everyone loved him. And we were going to like knock off 5 things off our list that we wanted to do. So in case anyone's wondering right off the bat, that's where I found and booked all of this stuff that included the ride to and from Ubud for these activities. So,
I mean, first thing we did, I mean, do you want to talk about what went to first?
So the first activity we did, so it was in Ubud. So as you guys know, it was about an hour to get there. Our driver picked us up, the guy that was our tour guide, very, very, very nice. He was also very educational, knew a lot about the activities that we were going to be doing for the day, but also very personable. So we had a whole long conversation, drive all the way up there. But our first activity that we did was the monkey forest. It was super cute. Obviously, very, very rich, green, foresty area in Ubud. They had hundreds and hundreds of monkeys in this place. Okay. I'm not like scared of monkeys, but just imagining having hundreds of monkeys around you at one time was kind of But honestly, it was so cute and so fun. I mean, they had like little baby monkeys, and then they had really old monkeys. And you just got to walk around, not necessarily interact with them and touch them, but just kind of walk around, take pictures, take video. There is a cost if you want to try to get a picture with the monkey, that they can get a monkey over to take a picture with you. So that's an added cost. Or you can just do your own video or try to get a video with you and a monkey if you're able to. But it was a really good experience with the monkey forest. It was really cool to kind of see them in their little atmosphere and everything.
It's just crazy to just have like monkeys right in front of you. And they give you warning like, hey, don't have like sunglasses, they'll steal it from your head. Don't look at them directly in the eyes, they'll feel intimidated and be on defense mode. But other than that, I mean, just don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. It's easy to take pictures with nearby them or just take pictures directly at them, film them. I mean, we didn't have any problems. Our tour guide was just picking food and feeding them to them, but he does it every day, so
yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And they were super chill too, so if any of you guys are wondering, they are very, very chill. They are fed often throughout the day too. I think that helps. So I think it was like 3 times a day or 2 times a day at least. So it was like in the morning, which when we got there, they were just fed, so they were good, but which helps as far as the stealing of like your glasses, hats, or something. No, they were really good. It was a good experience. It was fun. That was cool.
Let's see. Next is the Rice Terrace.
Yeah, what did you think of the Rice Terrace?
Rice Terrace was awesome. It's amazing. Like, I mean, throughout Bali, as you're driving through, you'll see plenty of rice fields, sure. But this one was like incredible. It was like in a valley, in like different sections. It was just gorgeous. It was breathtaking to look at. And of course, it's another big tourist trap area, so it's not like you're there by yourself as a tourist. There's plenty of tourists out there, trust me. I mean, we went to the popular one. We've seen other YouTube videos say, hey, try the other ones, not the big tourist traps, but we ended up going to this one because it was included in our package. Maybe next time we'll see the other ones, but this one was great. There's some activities you could do, like zip lining.
The swing, there's a huge swing that like for girls, you could actually get dressed up into like these really, really pretty elegant dresses and sit in the swing and get your photo taken. Because let me tell you, the backdrop and the rice fields out there with the swing like kind of goes over and out it was really pretty. I was scared to death because it literally feels like you're going to be swinging out and, but whatever. But you could do that. And you don't even have to like change dress up too. You can even do it with like couples or a friend. You guys can just go and sit and be hunkered down and swing too, like whichever way you want. They do photos. They had zip lining. You can zip line across the rice field out there if you'd like. We got to see some of the workers out there actually working in the rice terrace that were, pulling or reseeding, working in the rice terrace, which was cool. We got to interact with one of the gals that actually works there. She had hats that she was giving people because it was pretty hot. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, it was hot. It was very sunny. Most of the days pretty much was very sunny outside. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to be doing something outside, I do highly recommend that you wear a hat and sunscreen for sure, just because they are pretty hot there. But
Ooh, and some bug repellent helps too.
oh yeah, because there's plenty of mosquitoes. So
Plenty of mosquitoes. The bug repellent we had was like the lotion one. I think that worked best.
that was good.
And you want to keep reapplying that. But yeah, that's something to expect in Bali's mosquitoes. So you definitely want bug repellent.
Yeah, so the Rice Terrace, it was a gorgeous site. It was very, very pretty. I enjoyed that too.
Anything else on the Rice Terrace?
No, that was pretty.
All right, the next one was on the agenda of that tour was the waterfall. What did you think of the waterfall?
The waterfall was gorgeous. It was very, very pretty. I mean, we got there again. It was in like a foresty area, and we had to walk down a ways actually, deep down, and then we got to walk up to where the waterfall was, which was really, really pretty. They also had like a changing area at this waterfall, so if you wanted to go in your swimsuit and actually swim up to the waterfall, there's actually even another huge rock a little offset from the waterfall that you can stand on and get photos of the waterfall in the background, or you could just simply swim up to the waterfall, be underneath the waterfall, and get your photos and everything together there too. If you want, you don't have to. But there were people that did that and other people that just did photos just kind of standing off the waterfall. And there's a bridge there that you can do photos and stuff. But it was very, very pretty. It was a gorgeous waterfall.
I mean, there's so many waterfalls on Bali, so we're happy to see one. If we were to go back there again, I definitely want to see a different one. But that one was very beautiful. I mean, the walk there was nice. It was cool seeing the different types of blocks, cement that you walk on
Yeah,
your way
over the
there.
water.
Very
was
clear
cool.
water. Yeah, it was beautiful. We're happy that our tour guide took us there because there's not that many people who went there. So that was cool.
Yeah, there wasn't too many people there when we went. So that was nice.
After that, lunch. Describe lunch.
Oh, lunch was really, really good. To me, it felt like we were eating in like a treehouse kind of feel. We were just up, we went upstairs, and I don't know how you would describe it exactly of where we were, but it was like you were up and above, and then you had like this rainforest view out there that you could look out, and gorgeous views from up there. Like, we don't get that kind of stuff in Arizona. So it was breathtaking to be able to sit and eat up there. And so we had our drinks. We had coconut drinks. So that was like one of the things we wanted to do too, was drink out of a coconut. So he had like a tropical fruit coconut drink. I had a coconut drink with a splash of watermelon in it, which was really refreshing since it was super hot outside. And then we had our food, and it was really, really nice. And we were in like the shade. There was a nice breeze. And just, again, the sights out there was gorgeous. So it was a good kind of relaxation after we just went and did 3 activities and everything. So delicious. And again, the staff was amazing. Delicious. It was really good.
It was a good time. I really liked it. That was another breathtaking view as you're enjoying lunch. Like, I never had a lunch like that ever. Even living in Hawaii, I know there's beautiful views, but not where you sit down and just enjoy the view like that.
High above. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. After lunch, we went to a nearby coffee plantation. There's plenty of them, but our tour guide took us to a really good one, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, for any of you guys that are like me, I'm a huge, huge coffee person. I love coffee. I live off coffee. I think all of us nurses live off coffee. So it was really, really cool to actually go and check out a coffee plantation. Like Danny said, there's so many of them, but the one that they took us on, they got to kind of show us around at all of their coffee plants, where they come from, when they pull them, that process. They also do teas there too. So they showed us some of the ginger that they had. They showed us the lemongrass that they pulled from for lemongrass tea. They also had chocolate. So they also make the chocolate. So they have the cacao plant. So they showed us like a lot of that kind of stuff. But then they also took us to the part where they had gotten the seed, and then they had a gal there that was roasting the coffee beans. That was like a 30-minute process, which was cool to see. And then what they look like post roasting, and then pre-roasting, and we got to smell it and everything, which was really cool. And then after that, we went to actually do a free test tasting of all of the coffees and the teas, which was a really cool experience. And I don't know if anyone else knows, but like the way they do their coffee is more of like instant coffee. It's not like ours where it's like whole bean and then it's like
There, it's just like, here's the coffee, just pour hot
it's
water,
very,
stir it
very
up.
fine powder. Like they get theirs into a very, very fine powder. So for their coffee and their teas. So we got to taste all the different types of coffee. I mean, they had Bali avocado coffee, they had regular Bali coffee, they had there's just an entire list that you're gonna see. But we got to try all the different kind of coffees. And then afterwards there was like it was a really cute little shop. So they sold their coffee. So depending on like what you tasted, what you really liked, you could get a little small package to bring home. You could get a really big package to bring home. And they had chocolate, they had teas, they had coffee, and other like little knickknack kind of Bali kind of things. But so we got a coffee, we got a tea, and we got chocolate. So we kind of made out on all aspects. But it was a really cool experience.
If you're on the adventurous side and willing to do weird things, there's a coffee bean out there that you can get that digested through an animal. Which animal is it again? I forgot.
It was a monkey.
No, it's not a monkey.
Isn't it a monkey?
No, it's not a monkey. Someone in the comment section will say which animal it is. But there's coffee that, an animal eats the coffee, digests it, poops it out. They get the poop, clean it out, roast it, and then break it down. And, it's a coffee. Apparently it's supposed to be really good. We did not bother trying it. And we're like, nah, we'll pass on the poop coffee.
It wasn't one of the free ones you could try. You actually had to pay money to try this one.
Apparently it's a delicacy, but I'm like, nah, we'll pass. I'm not that adventurous. I have some limits, okay? If you've tried that coffee, please
You'll have to let us know if you've tried it in the comments to see and let us know how it was. Because we were a little too nervous to think about trying a coffee from poop, basically.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's what it was.
Side note.
And after that, we went to the temple. How do you pronounce the temple? I feel so bad.
It's the Taitra Empule Temple. It's a very, very popular one. And again, like Danny said, we're horrible at pronouncing everything. But this temple was a really cool experience, I thought. Like, what were your initial thoughts when you came up to the temple, when you parked?
I mean, you finally get... This was our first, like, understanding their culture, especially the Hindu culture there. And it's just like this spiritual experience. It was very beautiful. The temple set up. They allow tourists to go in there. You have to have a guide, and then you have to have the thing around you. What's it called?
Oh,
they hand
gosh.
them out.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you cover your legs if you have shorts on.
Because it's a sacred place. They think, it's a public temple, so it doesn't matter your religion, anything. Anyone and everyone can visit this temple. It's one of their public. They have like 3 types of temples. It's like a family temple. It's the a village temple, and then it's the public temple. So this was a public temple that you could actually visit. And even though it's public, they still find it as a sacred place. So they did ask anyone that visited to wear these, gosh, I can't even remember what they're called, but you wear them in the temple and get to walk around and kind of see the sights of the temple. And it was gorgeous. They had so many really pretty statues. They had lettering, like wording on there. Obviously, we couldn't read it because I don't know the language, but our tour guide kind of read what he could of them and explained everything to us. And
The sarong.
sarong. Yeah, sarong.
I had to pull up one of the pictures and videos that we have here. But yeah, that's what you wear around. And then, and on top of what you're saying, they do like purification. Then you'll see on the video that I posted up here of where you go in, clear water. And it's their beliefs of do like purification. It's like a baptism in a way, right?
Yeah, it's a really cool experience. So that's also something that you can do too if you visit the temple is you can take part in the purification process. So initially you do a offering, or a blessing. So you have like an offering or a blessing area that you can bring something and do, pray, kind of sit there in silence. And then after that, you get kind of situated to go to the purification process in the water. And it was really kind of cool to see because it's not like you just go up to one area and do the water purification. You go from like the very beginning of the line and you go all the way to the end. So you just kind of run down. Once one person's done, you go up to the next one. It just keep working yourself all the way down. It was cool to watch it actually in the process of when people were doing it. But I thought that was a really cool thing to partake in and see.
That was very nice. And then we saw a live performance there.
Yeah, that
So
was
here's the
cool.
video of it. Here's a little bit of it. But yeah, that was really nice. Just to see some of the culture. So I mean, that was one big thing I wanted to come out of Bali is just experience culture.
Yes.
That's us. Anything else in the temple that you found
No,
fascinating?
it was gorgeous. And again, our tour guide was really, really cool in the fact of explaining a lot of different things, what things, when we were looking at things, what they meant, what they came from, what it, just the background. Some of the villagers were even there, like live, doing their own offerings, dressed up so nicely, and going to part of the temple actually where a lot of prayers happen that we were not able to actually go in and walk and view or anything. There were actual places that were closed off that were just for the people in the village that came to do their thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a really good experience to learn all of that at this particular temple. So that was a cool experience.
Yeah. Other than that, after we concluded the temple, that was the conclusion of our tour. So we
Yeah.
just went back to our villa, and then we just pretty much called it a day there, right? We
Yeah, it was
relaxed.
a long day because then again it was the drive all the way back to our villa that was from Ubud, so it was a long drive.
Lots of walking.
Yeah, we walked a lot and it was just a full day of activity, but it was a really great day of all the activities we did, but we were also pretty tired too.
Yeah.
So we just made our way back to the villa and just kind of cleared up, cleaned up, relaxed, and just were ready to get on for the next days of adventures.
Yeah. Next day was mainly just a relaxing day. We spent most of our time at the beach and having local snacks.
You have to have a beach day when you're in Bali. You just have to go and relax at the beach.
The beach is huge. I mean, they have so many beaches. It's because the island's like 4 or 5 times the size of Oahu, so it's a huge island. So there's beaches everywhere. And we went to how do you pronounce it? Seminyak Beach.
Seminyak
So
Beach.
that was a huge beach. We had coconuts there, and we just relaxed. That was just a day we cared about. We wanted to see the ocean. Ocean is vast. There's a lot of people. But the waves are a little dangerous in that area, so there's lifeguards telling you can't go too far. They
Now you
don't.
can't actually go out and swim. Like
Right.
you can put your feet in the water, go out so far, and then. But that was fine. I mean, and it was cooler. Of course,
Yes.
being by the beach, so weather-wise, it was a little cooler, a nice breeze.
Good.
We got to have like a little umbrella area. You pay a little extra, just have an umbrella to sit under because I don't like anyone else. Like I like to be in the shade a little bit. So that was good. And we got to just relax and enjoy the beach, which was nice.
And then after the beach day, we had another couples massage at a place that was near our villa.
Can you tell me like massages? We're gonna take advantage of it while we were in Bali.
Well, this place was so nice. It was the Oriental Spa in Seminyak. It was really nice.
Yeah, this one was a lot closer to us. It was probably what, 10-minute drive or something maybe at that.
I mean, it was really
Or maybe
around the
even
corner.
walk too.
We could have walked, but we just decided to take a drive there. Just because we felt a little uncomfortable walking in some places because it was like so close with cars driving right by you.
Crazy
I'm
traffic.
clumsy, so I'd probably get hit, stupid tourist. But the spa itself was gorgeous. Like, great atmosphere. It was beautiful. Another spacious room they take you in. And then, like, right where you lay your head, right below you is like this. Oh, what would you
It's
call
like
it?
a pot that had like water and like flowers, but it had like an aroma to it. Like they had like some sort of a, I don't know, oil, something. It was super refreshing though, like very relaxing. It was
Yeah.
nice.
And we got a 2-hour couples massage. So it was a total of $60. So that's per person.
It's like 30 a
15
person.
30 a person for 2 hours or $15 an hour. And look at this again, high quality, great environment. Like you just can't top that in the U.S. It was just amazing. We took some footage of it, which people are probably seeing it right now, but I just loved it. It was so good. That's how we ended our day. So day 5, next day, we decided to order a floating breakfast.
Yeah, so and that was again with our Airbnb, we did get a day that was free where you can get a floating tray for your pool and eat breakfast in your pool in the morning. So we enjoyed breakfast this morning by being in the pool and eating in the pool, which was a really cool experience, just different, right? So we enjoyed our breakfast and kind of chilled a little bit. And then our day then was going to the culture center. So we really wanted to kind of go and see the different statues and the stories. Again, it's just the culture. We came to Bali to really kind of learn about the culture. So
I'm gonna butcher it. I'm sorry, but we went to the Garuda Vishnu Kana culture park.
Kankana culture.
Someone's watching this and screaming right now.
So GWK for short. So if you're looking this place up, it's GWK Cultural Center. But yes.
Yeah, but that is a must place to go to. That was very beautiful. I mean, what did you think of it when we went there? We got your Starbucks. They had that.
Oh yeah, they have Starbucks there. So, yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, they definitely had some statues you got to see. You could partake in some things too. But there's like the main statue there that we got to go and see. You actually, when you fly into Bali, you see this statue from the plane where we actually landed, and it's a
that
wave.
big. Yeah.
And it's that big. So we saw, because we got to actually go in and tour the statue, and it showed it being like 4 times the size of Statue of Liberty here in the US. Like, it's massive, but it's not the biggest statue, but it's massive. It's a huge, huge statue. So they had a thing about you could actually go inside the statue and tour parts of it and get to learn about it and what it's about and why it was put together by the people and all of that stuff. So what did you think of touring the statue?
Another thing that I loved about learning culture, learning about Hinduism, like got an idea of like why they made the statue, why it's important to their culture and religion. Like, it was just beautiful. It was just a breathtaking sight to see. Just take it in and look at it like, wow, this is a marvel that you're looking at. And then you go inside the statue, they do a tour. You go on the first one is the 9th level. They had some things that you look around, like a video about the story of Garuda and Vishnu, and then some about how they built it, what materials they use. And then you go up to the 28th floor where they had some windows that you can look out of Bali. Really nice. A little bit more history. There's some glass ceiling that you can walk on, so you can freak out a little bit.
Oh yeah, you look down.
But
Those paper things we had to put on these paper thingamabobbers that adhere to the bottom of your shoes so that you weren't going to scrape. Yeah,
it was like a plastic thing. Yeah, that way you're not scraping the glass.
Yeah. So that was interesting. I'd never seen anything like that, but just to preserve the glass up there. But I mean, that was cool. That was really cool to kind of walk on glass. But for some people, that might freak you out.
Oh, absolutely. After the tour, we went to the amphitheater because each hour there's a show. There's a performance.
That's what I was going to say earlier. I'm like, what else was it? Yeah, it was the amphitheater performance. That was really cool because they did have performances every hour on the hour. They had a new performance, so we were able to go and see another like dance performance and another music kind of performance. It was really cool, again, just to kind of see their culture and everything. It was a really good experience. We got to get a picture with all of them afterwards, which was cool. That was a really, really cool experience to do.
Yeah. Then after that we had, I guess, another late lunch.
Yep. Yeah, there. Yeah.
There.
At the restaurant there, we had a late lunch. And we sat outside, and again, we just had a gorgeous view to look out. It wasn't like rainforest this time, but this time it was looking over at the beach in the distance and like other cities out in the distance. It was pretty. It was really a pretty view too. But we got to eat, and then we went back to our villa and chilled because again, that culture center took a long time during the day to kind of get through.
We didn't go straight to our villa. We went back to that same massage place the day before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then went for round 2 of the massages.
That's right. Another massage. Okay, do you guys get the idea that we kind of like massages? And while they're cheap, we decided we needed another massage. Why not? We still have a few more days. That's right. That's right.
$15 an hour. I'm all about it.
And it was the same place right by our villa. So it was the Oriental Spa again. And we did, this time it was an aromatherapy versus the Balinese massage. So yeah, that was heavenly again. That's right.
Yeah. Day 6, and when we started out the day just trying to relax, because we did a lot of walking at that.
Walking, yeah.
At the culture center, there is a lot of walking. Plus, in the sun, it's beating down on you, so we're tired. So day 6, we relaxed most of the day because we had we went to the. I'm going to butcher this again, where the Kit Kat dance is at the Pura Luhur Uluwatu. I'm sorry. I try people, but another event where we had a tour guide, another long drive down south, and I mean, it took what, an hour and a half to get there. I mean, it was probably like what, 25 miles away, but it takes a long time to drive through the hectic traffic there. But again, there was monkeys there at the temple.
Yeah, this one was a little bit different in an experience where, yeah, it was another temple, so where it all took place. So we got to, again, we had another tour guide, and again, we found this event through Airbnb from when we booked our villa. Took us there. We walked through this particular temple, and this was like right off a cliff where this temple is, like literally right off the cliff. It was breathtaking in different aspects to take pictures and stuff. The view was just stunning. And part of this was it's the Kikak dance. It was a temple, but more so it was this performance done at sunset. So this was an evening experience to where when they did this Kikak dance, you could see the sunset out there, which was stunning. But yeah, I mean, we went and we did photos, but then like Danny said, they had monkeys there, and it was a different experience versus the monkey forest in that the monkey forest, they're actually fed at certain times, so you didn't really have to worry about them bothering you nearly as much. But here at the temple, he did warn us, like, don't like watch your hats, watch your sunglasses, even your phones. If you had your phone in your hand, he even said he's seen multiple times where the monkey would come up and take someone's phone out of their hands. And the funny thing is they would even be on there and like, whatever, like they know how to work the phones, which is actually kind of scary. So yeah, that was different. And we saw a lot of other people get stuff taken, but we were warned, so we were good.
Yeah, that was hilarious when you just see it from a distance. You see the monkey running, and then boom, just snags that sunglasses. I was like, that was great.
That, and then there was the monkey that stole a poor gal's water bottle, like out of her, I don't know if it was her pocket or her purse
No,
or
she
something.
just like totally grabbed her water bottle from her hand, and you see the monkey like actually unscrew it and drink out of it. I was like, wow, that's fascinating.
That was crazy.
That
that was really crazy. But yeah, I mean, so they had monkeys. So throughout when we were touring the temple, there were monkeys around. So we were just kind of listening and then like gearing with the monkeys. But then after that, then we were, once again, we wore the,
Same room, same. Oh, I forgot it. I have such
whatever
terrible
they're
memory.
called, we wore those again because again it was a temple, still a place that people go and do blessings and everything else. So wrong.
Yeah.
So we had to wear those at the temple again, so we put those on, and then we already had our tickets, so we went to the Kikak dance. It's a big theater seating area right there. What did you think of the Kikak dance? Like, what was that experience like?
The performance itself was amazing. It's an hour long, and you get, the only music there is just the guys singing, right?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, the music was the guys singing. Yeah, and then
And then you see like a performance, and then there's like a little bit of a fire show at the end once it gets darker. I mean, my only problem is that they squish everyone in like pickles in a jar, like shoulder to
Like
shoulder,
sardines.
thigh to thigh to strangers. They really stuffed that place in.
Yeah, that probably was the only con, was that there was so many people that were put into this place. I mean, you were just so tight, throughout the entire
You're
performance.
literally like this with strangers. So it's just it's
like
just
literally
weird.
you're just like
okay,
this.
hi.
And I'm not even kidding. They even filled people, like you would go up where it's supposed to be where people walk up and down the stairs to get up and down to like go to the restroom or go get water or whatever. And they ended up like actually sitting people in those positions. So for like you to even go to use the restroom, like I don't even know how you would leave. Well, there were exits at the top in different aspects of there, but like it would have been like really, really hard to get around. So between like so many people, but also we had a lot of like kids around us that, people were talking a lot. So, I mean, at least by us, maybe by no one else, maybe didn't have as much of that.
Yeah,
but,
we were unlucky in
so-
that area. People talking throughout the show, like right next to us, like, man, I wish they would not talk. I'm trying to watch the show.
So it's
And
hard to hear. Like they weren't,
babies crying. Like,
they didn't
oh,
have like
man.
microphones like we would here in the States that you could hear. Like, so when they were talking or doing something, it was hard to understand. So, and when people are talking, so yeah. So those were like kind of cons, but like Danny said, the actual performance was amazing. The dancers were amazing. They had some really funny moments that were cool. And then, the sunset that we got to see right before the performance was really pretty. So definitely sitting in a certain area is better than others, just so you can actually get a really good picture of the sunset. We didn't really get to where we were sitting.
No.
So definitely more straight on to where the sunset is where I would recommend sitting and able to make sure you can get some really good photos.
Yeah, if you're looking at the amphitheater once you enter, it's like the left side towards the center if you really want to see that sunset. But we were on the right side, so there was like amphitheater was blocking the view of the sunset, but whatever.
No, it was still really, really nice though.
So the next day, we spent the morning at I'm gonna mispronounce this again, Canggu.
Canggu.
So what did you think of that area?
So Canggu, just like Ubud, Canggu is a very popular touristy place. In particular, that is the place where a lot of younger adults like to go and party and beach club it out, drink all day. I felt like there was a lot more people in Canggu than there was in Ubud. And Ubud still had a lot of people, but Canggu was like the place that everyone was at. So when we went there, we went to the market in particular, so that's where we stopped, which was it was a market that is open on Sundays only. And so we wanted to go see the market, see the area. We hadn't been in Canggu before, or this entire time that we had been in Bali. And then there was the beach right there. And so that was like where everyone was going. But the area, I mean, it was a good area, very touristy. There's many shopping areas to go to. So if you want a place to shop, that's definitely a really good area to go shopping. And then obviously they have the Canggu beach. There's a beach area. There's a beach club there that you can go to. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of places to eat as well. So you can kind of go through all of that. But another good area place, I think.
And we saw a YouTube video as we were preparing this to visit La Brisa. It's like a Sunday marketplace. Let me know if it's only Sundays in the comments, but it was a Sunday, so went to La Brisa. It's a big marketplace, people selling local items, goods. So that was cool.
Had really good food there. People had really good food. Like he had mentioned, I mean, selling jewelry, clothing, lotions and potions and everything. But yeah, all very local, so which is really cool. So it was a really cool place, and it was shaded. I loved it too, because again, it had been so sunny every single day. So this was an activity we actually kind of were shaded over because it was in a very like green, kind of covered tree place, which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, when we got outside, we got a quick bite to eat at the restaurant. It was really a pizza place, but I had a burger. What did you have?
I had like a vegetable soup actually.
Okay,
it was
perfect.
really, really good. But they also had like the Indonesian food. There's a lot of places that have just a good assortment of so many different foods. So it's not just going to be, strictly Indonesian type foods, but they have a whole mixture of, Western foods and Asian foods.
And drinks
I mean,
too.
and
you
drinks
mix
too.
drinks, right? I mean, what I kept drinking was the virgin mojitos, right? We didn't drink alcohol over there. We're a little bit too old for that now. but I mean, I kept drinking those. Very refreshing. I had a burger with some fries. It was really good.
That was a really good place.
So that was a good place. But we got the feel. We understand this is a place for like college age people to go to, party, have a good time. Like I get it. Like if I was their age, I'd be doing it too. Like
We're more of a relaxed, chill type.
yeah,
we're in our late 30s. Not that we couldn't go out and do a lot, but like we're not the night scene. Like that's definitely a night scene kind of place too. But I mean, no, generally it is a good place. Like go shopping, go eat, chill at the beach club area is a really cool place. It looked awesome from a distance when we were looking at it. But also very crowded. Like, so if it's something you want to do, like make sure you get there in a decent time because it's obvious it gets very busy, especially as the day goes on. So just kind of plan ahead as far as that goes.
Yes. And I noticed like the prices for like stuff that you would buy cost a little bit more because it's a tourist trap area because you can get away with it.
A little more pricey.
So I noticed that with other areas we've been at in Bali, but I get it. Like they can get away with it and people will buy. But then we just got to go, Jack. And so like, let's go back to the Seminyak beach. We liked it there. It was more our style.
Oh yeah, because we were doing the sunset at Seminyak.
Yeah, we saw sunset and but that evening there's just so much more people than it was in the morning. The first time we was there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like we wanted to particularly go back to that because again, I said like we were very chill when we went to that beach the first time. There was hardly anyone there. And again, that was also in the morning. So it wasn't like, midday or late day or anything. So it was pretty chill. But then we were like, oh, we want to go back there. It was very chill. It's like just very, let's go back there in the evening and we'll see the sunset there. Oh, that would be awesome. We go and my goodness, it was what, 5 o'clock? Sunset there was like around
Six.
6:15 was whenever it was. And we got there about an hour before. And it was swarming of people. Like there were people from every direction.
And this beach, either direction, it just goes as far as the eye can see, and it's just crowded. And like, oh my goodness, out of all places, right?
It was
But
very
I could only
crowded.
imagine what Canggu would have been like, or other beaches, right?
Exactly. Crazier. For sure. No, it was very, very busy, but we were still able to get a really good spot, and it was a lot cooler, obviously, being late in the evening, and the sunset was gorgeous.
Great sunset.
Oh my gosh, stunning.
It's different, right? The sunset, you'd say it's different.
Yeah, definitely different. I mean, yeah, Arizona, we have stunning sunsets
yeah,
too.
we do.
But this is a different kind of sunset than what we see here, but still very, very, very
And
pretty.
it's hard to describe, but yeah, it's a different sunset, especially seeing the sunset on the ocean, right? At the beach.
Oh,
So it
and
was
seeing the
very
water
beautiful.
come up and oh my
Because I've
gosh,
seen
yeah.
sunsets in like California where you'd see that, and like of course in Hawaii, but that one was just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the air there or something that makes it unique. It was a different feel to it. You just have to go there and experience it yourself. If you've seen a few sunsets in your life, try that one. Go to Bali and tell me what you think, or
Bali.
correct me. Comment, say it in the comment sections like any other sunset. You're just delusional, Danny. Got it. Um,
No, it was gorgeous. It was really, really pretty.
but yeah, that's pretty much how we ended Bali, though.
On a very nice, relaxing. This is our last night in Bali night.
Yeah, that was the last day because next day we just had our breakfast, and then we just called the Gojek to take us to the airport. When we checked out, we had to pay for things like we ate some of the chips that they had on the little mini bar that they had there.
Oh, we also did laundry. They did provide laundry service at our Airbnb. We didn't have to pay for our laundry to be done, but it was a service they also provided. They also provided spa. So like if there was a spa treatment you wanted, whether it was like your nails, your toes, a massage or a facial or anything, they would call to have them come to your villa to do it if you wanted to. We ended up not doing that obviously, but it was something that they provided if you wanted to. So we also did laundry so we could have some clean stuff going back. So we didn't pack a whole lot, just knowing we had laundry available to be done. And it was all done, nicely folded. And I mean, so that was good. So yeah, we paid a little bit extra for that. And some of the bar items, they had some snacks and some bottled water, which we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, so it was a great experience. The villa was great. People were great.
Yeah, and then, I mean, just to wind it down, I mean, we just got from our Gojek from the villa to the airport. Getting through, I don't think it was that long, right?
No, it was pretty fast.
I mean, we got there super early just in case, international travel with the backup. No, it wasn't that bad.
No.
We got there like 4 hours early or something like that. It was
Yeah,
pretty
because
good.
I mean, in the States, it can get really long to going through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for most people, but we have global entry cards, which for travel, you can just go right into this global entry line in the States anyway, that bypasses the security and,
Mm-hmm.
customs and stuff. Like you get into a whole other line. But when you're international, obviously that doesn't work international.
I'd say for Bali, if you get to the airport 2 hours before your flight, I think you're fine.
Yeah, because it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. Like everything was a breeze pretty much when we got there. And we just like to be prepared in case there is a hiccup with traffic or, the lines are longer than we thought or like maybe their system's down or
TSA
something. Like
line is
everything
long.
happens.
They're
Yeah,
backed
exactly.
up.
It's just
system's
always,
down. There's always something at the airport, right?
you just
At
always
the
want to
American
be
airports,
prepared.
right?
Yeah, because and especially when you're international, you
Right.
don't want to miss that to getting back home. So, yeah.
Got there. The flight from Bali to Singapore, 2 hour. We got a meal, quick
No big
flight,
deal.
no big deal. We had like about almost a 5 hour layover from Singapore to LAX. We had the mentality of that we could visit the Jewel at the Singapore airport rather. But it turns out that if you want to see it, you have to, because we're on the international side, you have to get out, go through the visa process, immigration, go to the Jewel, go ooh ah, and then come back to your flight. They recommend like if you have a layover of 5+ hours. So
Well, and then for anyone that's not aware of what the Jewel is something that the Singapore airline, or not airline, airport had just recently put in a few years ago. And it's between, I think, like terminals 1 and 2, I think it was.
2 or 3.
Or 2 or 3, something like that. But basically, it's a whole separate entity, but there's a way of going through a bridge to go see it. It's like gorgeous. And I don't know, you guys are going to have to look up a YouTube video about it, because if you looked at it, you're going to be like, I need to see this place. It's like a rainforest inside an airport. And there's this huge waterfall, and they've got, I mean, sightseeing. They've got a restaurant in there. You could stay in a hotel in there. You can eat in there. I mean, I don't know, there's just a lot of, but it's absolutely stunning. So when we saw that, we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be at this airport. So we want to go see it. Not knowing this entire process, like Danny was saying, I thought since we'd be there, they said it would be open to like go and see it from the airport. But there is a whole process. They were saying if you were to have a layover that's at least 5-6 hours layover, then you, like you said, you had to go through this whole process to go and be there. And then you have to come back through immigration when you came after seeing it. And it was an entire thing. So we were like, well, that's a bummer. We're not going to be here. I mean, I thought we were here for a decent amount of time to go see it, but apparently we weren't. So all we could do is there was a train shuttle that you could take that actually does go through the Jewel at the airport, but it's like super quick, and it just goes right through for a split second, that you could see like the waterfall and the rainforesty area in there, and then it just kind of goes through and, you know, goes to whatever terminal you're going to. But that was all that we were able to see. So that was kind of disappointing. So if we were to go back, we would have to actually be there physically in Singapore to do things, to have the visa, and then be able to go and visit. But
yeah, next time we visit Asia, Singapore will probably be on our list, and we'll actually see the Jewel just out of spite, because we're really
gorgeous.
We're looking forward to seeing it, but you didn't get to see much. I mean, the airport's nice, but
yeah.
But that Jewel would have been nice to see, but next time in the future. Besides that, anything else about Singapore?
No, so I mean, in Singapore, then obviously, then we had a lot of time to kill. We thought we were going to have so much of this exploring in the Jewel for this layover, so the rest of the time we just chilled. And then we had our flight back from Singapore to LAX, which again was another, actually, this was 15 hours, a little bit shorter than the previous. But it was still a long flight, you know, again, another long traveling day. I don't sleep very well. He actually slept pretty well.
I was surprised. I normally don't sleep on airplanes at all, but I was able to get 5 hours of sleep, so that killed off a chunk of time.
Yeah, you did. I mean, he was able to sleep.
And there's you. I'm sure I just feel you mad at me just getting sleep.
Just because he was able to sleep, I was not able to sleep. So I was exhausted. So which brought us to our other point. By the time we finally got to LAX, we actually decided to get a hotel because we're in Arizona. So when we got to LA in California, we decided just getting a hotel for the night because we had just already done 2 hours from Bali to Singapore, had a 5-hour layover, and then another 15 hours from Singapore to LA. And we were going to be exhausted.
Not just exhausted, but we were probably going to be out by late, like 9 o'clock. And to go through the immigration and get our luggage, which took a while for them to actually deliver luggage, and then jump to the next flight from LAX to Phoenix. I mean, there's not that many flights available.
No.
There might have been, but I wasn't going to risk it. I'm like, let's just spend the night there, take our sweet time to catch the next flight back home.
And I'm so glad we did, because then I actually was able to lie down and get some rest that night and get a shower and feel fresh. And then we had our flight, wasn't first thing in the morning, just so we could actually have breakfast and relax a little bit. And then we had our flight back home, and that was awesome, the way that we did that, and then got back home. So overall,
so in conclusion, I mean, overall, Bali was amazing. I underestimated the amount of tourism that goes to Bali. Because I was used to Hawaii, and they get a lot, right, living on Oahu. But man, I mean, Bali just beats it out of the water. But and I get it, right? Because I want to visit Southeast Asia more because of two things: the affordability for vacation and safety. Right? It felt very safe. Did you feel safe in Bali?
Yeah, I felt very safe in Bali. I thought so.
I felt very safe. I
In
mean,
the
people,
areas that we were.
the locals, the people there, most of them have been great, if not all of them. I mean, yeah, I mean, anywhere you go, there's going to be some crappy people, but I don't think we ran into any.
No,
Every
it was
local we
pretty
ran
good.
into was just so nice and so friendly. Some questions I wrote down here, just in case the audience would want to know, like, what would you do differently on your second trip to Bali? Because this was our first.
I think as much our villa was really, really nice, but because we were traveling so far to go to certain activities, I don't think I understood or realized how far they really were to do certain things. So I feel like I would have tried to have a place a little closer to everything that we wanted to do, whether that was closer to Canggu, whether it was closer to Ubud, or whatever. So then it wasn't like so much driving around in a car and whatever.
If it's not Ubud, I'd say if you were like in Canggu or Seminyak area, book it as close to the beach as possible. I thought we were fairly close to the beach. I was like,
It
oh,
was
it's a
like
quick
20
drive.
minutes from where we were.
I mean, even 20 minutes. That's like, but driving through that traffic, it's like maybe half mile, but
Yeah.
just to the point where it's not worth the walk. But you get a cab. But I'd rather have it been like a little bit closer to the beach, be walking distance to the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you wanted to see the beach like every day or something like that, or if not, Ubud is a great spot for to stay in Bali.
Yeah. Ubud is a
Those
really
are
good
the
spot.
two areas. So Canggu or Ubud, maybe Seminyak. I mean, that was a great place too. We liked that. That was more for our vibe, just more a little bit more chill. I
It's a
mean,
little
yeah,
more
there's a
relaxed and
party
chill.
scene there too, but not as wild as Canggu. But just yeah, just a place by the beach. I recommend that. What else would you recommend second time around?
Um, some other activities that we never got to. We did do a lot when we were there as far as activities go and things that we wanted to do. We got to experience a lot of things. There's still some other things that we would want to do. I know he really wanted to do like some ATV riding. There was just some other activity.
There's
There was a cooking
snorkeling,
class I wanted to do.
right?
Snorkeling. So I think those would be things I would definitely want to do the next time. Just because there were so many things that we would want to do.
We
Check out another waterfall that we
we were
didn't
there. We
see.
were there for a week, and we did a lot for a week. But would you say maybe try to do a 2 weeker? I mean, if you could
Probably
do
like
2 weeks, would you do it? Would you recommend it, or just was 1 week enough?
I think 1 week was enough. I think it was enough because and especially with we did so much in 1 week, and we
Yeah.
could have done longer, but I think a week was
Well,
good.
yeah, because like your first week, I mean, you're not gonna get everything right because you're new to Bali. So yeah, that makes sense. Because the second time, you know what to expect. You know where you want to book, where you want to stay, where you're most comfortable at, where you're most satisfied, and the activities and how long they're gonna take to get there and how to accomplish it. And
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, 1 week was. I'd say that's right. 1 week is good. 1 week is definitely good.
And then things to prepare yourself before you go. So like apps to have, obviously
Oh,
WhatsApp.
yeah, the WhatsApp because that's one thing they used to communicate. Gojek, which is like their Uber or Lyft. You definitely want those. Don't just get a guy on the side of the street who says, "I'm a taxi. I'll take you wherever you need." They'll charge you more.
They also have like a DoorDash. What's their DoorDash? Grab? Was
It's
it
called
Grab?
Grab. We use that a lot too, where they just bring the food to you. I memean, it's very cheap. The local food is very cheap. So we kept getting coffee. We kept getting all the local foods coming to us. We even got pizza. I mean, we stayed in our villa just because we like the pool and hanging out and relax. So every time we were there, every day we grabbed one or two items. It was just every day. So Grab is definitely worth it. I brought a Visa with me. My credit card Visa, right? It's the one I have with Costco because there's no foreign transaction fees. So if you're going to use your credit card overseas, make sure there's no foreign transaction fees on it. Mine does not have it, and I was able to use it in most places, like the massages, the restaurants, the Gojek, the Grab. When you get the Gojek and Grab, make sure you do it at home. Get everything set up with a credit card and whatnot. They do a verification process, so it's best to do it at home instead of doing it in Bali.
And also just have some cash on you too, though, because there were some instances where they only did cash and not
Right.
card. So definitely have some rupiah on you when you do go, just for those reasons, if you do need to have cash for something. And if you don't have it on you at the time, have some US dollars on you, or, money that then you can go to those currency exchanges when you're there that you can exchange it out. So
Yeah.
definitely have some cash too. But yeah, card pretty much works everywhere for the most part. So
Yeah, and if you do get their cash, you're gonna have wads of cash, right? Their currency exchange is like bonkers, So don't have your cash out in public, especially if you're taking it. If we got one taxi that it was the local driver who brought us to the villa, so we took his name. Like, yeah, drive us to the next place, right? Little did we know he was charging us way more than Gojek.
yeah.
And when he saw my wad of cash, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's 100,000
Yeah.
for like a quick 7-minute drive." We thought, I was like, "Oh, okay," because that's $7. Like, okay, I get it, but really, it should have been like a quarter of that cost. We saw in the Gojek and like, yeah, this guy's been ripping me off. Good thing we only used them once or maybe twice.
I think it was twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we caught it early, and they're like, okay, we're just sticking with the Gojek from now on for our transportation services. I wrote down tipping. Americans were basically the only people who tip.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge tipping.
They're happy to take the tip. I think they're familiar. They're familiar of what tipping is. Like, wow, someone being very generous. They don't expect it like we do here. Like, if you're working in services, you kind of expect a tip, especially if you're a server or if you're a driver. But
Yeah,
it's not required.
They don't do tipping there, so you really don't have to worry about that unless you had like the most exceptional experience with something, or you felt like, maybe your host that showed you around that day did an amazing job and you learned a lot or whatever. If you feel like they really, really did something that you would want to, by all means, you can tip them and whatever you feel is necessary for a tip there. But yeah, just like Danny said, they're not a tipping kind of country, so you don't need to worry about the tipping.
If you're feeling generous from what I've researched, and feel free to comment and correct me if I'm wrong, like 5% is fine. It's not like the US where like 20% is the standard. If you're feeling generous at like Bali, you want to tip, like a 5% here and there is fine. I was generous with like everyone I saw.
Pretty much everybody. Here. I'm like, okay.
Especially at the villa, the service
Everybody.
people, like,
well, they were really nice. They took care of us.
and they remained nice to us, so they continued taking care of us because they knew I would tip them. So,
well, probably maybe that was why.
Yeah, that was why.
The water.
The water. We're reading like, when I was in the Navy, been overseas, there's some areas, like especially like the Philippines, like you don't want to drink the water, especially have drinks where they put ice in it from their local water, because then you'll feel very sick, because like our immune systems are way different from theirs.
Yeah, our system's not used to it.
Right. But from Bali, apparently the restaurants, they do filter their water when they provide you with ice. Don't drink the faucet water where you can brush your teeth, but don't just put your cup under the faucet water and drink that water.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places where you can buy bottled water, drink water.
Yeah, just make sure you get bottled water. And if you bring like your Stanley cups, insulated cups with you to have with you wherever you go, just fill it with whatever bottled water that you have. But just make sure whatever you are getting is bottled water. Don't drink any tap water, anything that's fishy. Yeah,
our villa provided us with a 5-gallon drinking water, so we just kept refilling it. Good for the environment, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the restaurant, it was fine with ice. At most restaurants we've been to.
Yeah, and we've asked that, and yeah.
Yeah, they said it's filtered. We didn't get sick. So
I know. No, we're good.
we're good, right? Let's see. So we went over the apps.
Jet lag.
Jet lag. How did you feel about the jet lag?
Still feel like we have it a little bit, but we're getting better. Because
I didn't get jet lag there, maybe because we were excited and we're moving around. But when we came back, like the jet lag is still here. It's been like almost a week now.
Yeah, so basically you're going to experience some sort of jet lag. It was a 15-hour difference from where we live in Arizona as far as time zone goes. So we always felt like we lost a day, like whether it was going or coming or whatever. I never knew what day it was, basically. Like I was always so lost. But like coming back, make sure you guys allow yourself time to like recoup. I only did like 24 hours before I had to go back to work. I would have liked maybe 2, even 3, like more days to recoup, because oh my gosh, we were up so late, and when we would go to sleep, it was like for 2 hours and then we're wide awake. Like jet lag is no joke. So just make sure you accommodate that when you get back, that you're going to need time to try to readjust yourself to your time zone again.
Yeah, I took a day off just to recruit from the jet lag. But that wasn't enough. That just was not enough. I probably
No,
just needed
it's
another
rough.
2 or 3 days plus the weekend, right? But other than that, I mean, this was just our first time experiencing Bali. Of course, this is not like a what to do Bali type video. It was like our experience, what we learned, what it was like. We recommend it. And plus, continue doing your research before you go to Bali. Watch other videos. There's plenty of videos out there that we research of people who live there and who go there all the time and what you should do. So I was really happy I did that, especially with like the apps. That helped a lot.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, what else do you have to say for Bali?
Bali was a great experience. Bali was, everything that I thought it would be, and fun to learn their culture. Great to just be there to relax and enjoy all the activities that we did. Definitely recommend it for anyone out there that's looking into going to Bali and enjoying it because it was a good experience.
Yeah. So please comment below about if you've ever been to Bali, what was your experience like? If you live there or go there frequently, give us some tips. We want to hear some too because we're gonna go there again eventually. So we like to have some more ideas, So please put that in the comments section as well. Like, subscribe, of course. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, everyone. Well, that was our trip to Bali. So if you like this, we hope to provide more videos of the next time or our next adventure. So we don't know
Yeah,
what it is yet, but we'll stay tuned and we'll let you know what our next adventure will be.
absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.